I miss this. Like, if we don't pod for like more than a week, I just kind of get like, I want to talk to my boys. My boys are here. And it's late March in Vegas, and it's about 100, literally about 110 degrees outside, and just it's just everything.
Already?
It's wild. I'm already running the AC.
Yeah, we just
awful.
Went back down to below freezing temperatures.
Oh, there's a literal Twilight Zone episode about that.
I like how you say you're lonely in Vegas, by the way. I feel like there's so many
in those exact words
options for comfort
close
by that you could never be lonely there.
I don't know what Eric is saying. I don't know what he's
the happiest place on earth.
Okay.
You know,
I thought that was Disney World.
I think he's got Mr. Jones on the mind.
It's Vegas. You know, you go a little off the strip. Find like the dirty, out of the way places for lonely guys and lonely women.
Are they are they dancing to Schoolie D?
You usually see like that
sweet blue lighting.
Yeah, they're all dancing with Schoolie D. Giant boombox in the background.
Speaking of, welcome to episode 86 of Rebels Without a Pod, the show that, like Schoolie D, dares ask the question, are we pod enough for you? Okay,
smooth transition.
Laugh from Naveen,
segue
from Andy.
Bravo.
He's just.
I agree with Andy. Smooth transition there.
Oh man, that segue was chef's kiss.
Show that dares ask the question, what am I? Some kind of king of New York? That got laughs from Eric and Naveen. Real shake of the head from Andy.
No,
it was that was just a quiet slipping at the end there. I didn't see it coming, and then you just kind of got me with the hook.
Right,
so good for you.
It is at 110 degrees outside. Like I've been sweating.
Open a fucking window around here.
Tonight we are continuing, or actually technically kind of starting, our new to you Neo-Noir cycle with Abel Ferrara's King of New York. As we said in the last episode, similar to Chinatown, a normal movie made by normal people under very normal circumstances. We're also going to, at the end of the episode, be covering the results of our 2026 Oscar pool. And we got like a little bit of it was a close race, so we're doing a little bit of a tiebreaker exercise to find out who will have bragging rights and exclusive control over the programming of an episode we got coming just like a little bit down the line. My name is John. Joining me tonight, Andy, who does our artwork and graphic design.
Hello.
Naveen on music and audio production.
Hello.
And Pod Daddy Eric, who just put his shotgun away because the test results came back negative.
Wowie, wow.
You like that one? Yeah. I could not understand that David Caruso joke. I'm like, that kind of implies something. Everybody was like, really? Pod Daddy Eric, who got fat while the rest of us starved.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That's the better one.
Man. As soon as I heard that, I actually I was watching the movie. I had the volume turned down a bit. I paused the movie. I rewound it, turned the volume up. I heard him say it full-throated, and I was like, what is this? This was a choice that he made, and he knew they were going to keep it in.
This whole movie was a choice that he made.
What was that?
Yeah. Speaking of Naveen, like, cut all of this out later.
Okay.
Sweet. All of our content currently on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube and Spotify channel. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. A couple benchmarks that we've hit over the past few weeks. 28,000 views collectively on our YouTube channel, 100+ views, and as of this morning, 53 cumulative hours people listening to Spotify of just our collective nonsense. We are new to Spotify, trying to get like a little more established. I think it's maybe more appropriate platform for the show. So we do ask any YouTube listeners, if you have a Spotify account and it is just at all convenient, maybe try giving us a listen there for like a little bit. However you are listening, though, please certainly know that we really do appreciate any kind of just time and attention to this dumb little show that we do week to week.
The fact we have one view,
Mm-hmm.
it's all I need.
Every single episode that's been posted on Spotify has been watched by somebody at some point since we started doing this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Inexplicable.
Inexplicable. Programming notes. This is the thing I'm going to start doing. Programming notes up top. Next week, we will be pausing movie coverage for something really exciting, a live table read of Anglerfish, the first script written under our podcast production company, the Rebs Stay in the Picture. This is an interesting project. I'm told this screenplay was originally pitched as a fun serial killer / monster romp, but eventually somehow devolved into some pretentious thing about middle-age, late capitalism, and time looping. Regardless, should be a hoot. The week
It's a
after
laugh
that,
riot, guys.
laugh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of humor.
It's a Happy Madison production.
Yeah. You could hear people laughing across the street. What were they watching?
Yeah.
The week after that, we'll be returning to the new to you neo-noir cycle with Eric Spick, Big Jim Cameron's 1984 The Terminator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still
Looking
can't
forward to
believe you
this
haven't
one,
seen
Bubby?
that.
Yeah, that was I'm not ashamed. I'm
No.
not ashamed. Don't try to shame me.
Uh-huh.
You shouldn't be
T2 was.
just surprised.
He's speaking incredibly generally here, folks.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, it's like T2. That's like the movie. That's the one everybody should watch
Mhm.
and then stop. Because nothing good ever came after that.
No.
But if you backtrack and go and see the first one, from what I heard, it's a pretty fun ride.
T2 is very much a modern style blockbuster. It's been a really long time since I watched The Terminator, but I think it's a fascinating movie. It's very, very different from what you expect. Eric sort of put it out for his new to you neo-noir pick, and I was like immediately, shit, I'm on board with that. I'm on
They're
board
gonna
with that.
call me out bullshit, but
No. That's a. We'll get to that, my friend.
you're like, speaking of bullshit, you still haven't seen Leprechaun 4 yet. That is, I agree with you. That's some bullshit.
Mhm.
That should
Leprechaun in
definitely be
space.
on our watch list.
Leprechaun 4 is a real. It's already on the document.
It's so my jam too. Leprechaun in the Hood. First I
Yeah.
saw Leprechaun. I remember the poster and I was like, Leprechaun in space. Okay, it's getting a little spicy. And then Leprechaun in the Hood, and I'm like, okay, they really want me to watch these movies. Somebody out there's like, this is for you.
This has
I've
been
never seen one moment of a Leprechaun movie. Never
And,
once.
and Naveen, you'd said you'd seen one and maybe two.
Right. Yeah. I'm definitely positive I saw the first one,
Saw the
and
first
then
yeah.
possibly the second one, but can't remember.
One of Jennifer Aniston's first feature films. I mean, she
I think it is her first, isn't it?
Very possibly. She
I think it
started
is.
Friends maybe a year and a half, like after it.
Yeah.
The Leprechaun series, it's something I really like. It's something my brother absolutely adores. This has been like a running bit for us for I think close to 30 years, where just once every few years, so my brother will text me and be like, I don't understand how the Leprechaun was up in space, but then he ended up down in the hood.
Was that the order of operations? Was
yeah,
the Hood after?
Leprechaun in the Hood. So it's Jennifer Aniston's first one. It's pretty generic for the second one. The third one, he goes to Vegas. It's fun. It's not amazing. The fourth one, he ends up in space. The fifth one, he's in the hood. The sixth one, he's in the hood for a second time, but it's not nearly as good as the first time he was in the hood.
They did a sequel that was a sequel to the sequel?
Look at the Irish, my friend. Let's stop Eric for a second.
I thought about it for a second, and I realized I already wasted a second I shouldn't have spent thinking about that.
Yeah.
As of this record, Big Jim's The Terminator. I'll have to look up like Leprechaun 4 later. Maybe we can add its availability in post. But it is streaming now for free on HBO Max. So anybody that wants to watch along for our record and discussion of it does have that option. So for tonight, Abel Ferrara's King of New York. Gentlemen, anything to add before we get started?
HBO Max, not a sponsor.
Yeah.
Just trying to help you out, listeners.
Yet.
Yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
HBO Max, email me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We'll see if either of the Ellisons answer my emails.
I don't have HBO Max right now, but I'm willing to spend money to rent this film.
Yeah.
I think it's worth the $4 on Prime Video.
Yeah. This will be our first big Jim movie, right?
First big Jim movie. It's also our first film where we have like a was it like an action hero?
Yeah.
First Schwarzenegger.
Like, we've never had Stallone in a film.
We had Stallone. Can we count Big Trouble, even though like the record?
I was thinking that. I was just
Kurt
thinking
Russell's
that.
the closest, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And the whole point of him is he's actually a really shitty action star in that movie. So
Yep.
He mostly does Carpenter films, right? Does he? Nobody else takes him on.
He used to anyway.
Yeah. He had the kind of super violent kind of Schwarzenegger adjacent movie called Soldier in like 1999. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
I've never heard of it. No.
Nope.
No.
In any case, let's before we kind of get directly into Abel Ferrara, this is technically our start of New to You Neo-Noir. We did like a little kind of preliminary episode last week watching Chinatown, which I was surprised and delighted when Andy told me that is so far the best movie that he's watched this year. Buddy, it's been a week and a half. Has anything supplanted Chinatown like the last 10 days or so?
The only thing I've seen in the last 10 days other than this movie is Zootopia 2. Which I enjoyed, but no, not better than
not in contention.
No,
Right.
No, I don't think so.
Between Faye Dunaway in Chinatown and Judy Hopps, what's the most fun first date?
I mean, why not both?
A quick refresher on noir films. Going back to our original coverage of Neo-Noir cycle that we did back in 2025 or 14 years ago. Just time has no meaning at this point. One or the other. I dug out my old notes, and I did want to do like a quick sort of read on that, just to reestablish kind of what noir is ahead of these conversations we're going to have. But so as I wrote in originally on those episodes, American noir has its origins in hard-boiled crime fiction from the 1920s and 30s that emerged during the rise of organized crime and corrupt law enforcement during Prohibition and the Great Depression. Classic noir film arose in the 40s and 50s, borrowing heavily from German Expressionist film, similar to what we're discussing tonight, and adding emotional thematic elements of trauma from the Second World War. Neo-Noir is a general term for the film made from the 60s onward, drawing inspiration from the classic noir period, but adapting to contemporary sensibilities, including more graphic depictions of sex and violence. The precise definition of what constitutes noir film is still an ongoing debate. Early noir subgenres range from crime films to procedurals, gothic romances to stories of a societal issue. Protagonists in noir film were often private investigators, but could also be plainclothes police officers, aging boxers, petty criminals, or simply victims of circumstance. French critics Borde and Chaumaton famously defined American noir films by 5 distinguishing tones: dreamlike, strange, erotic, ambivalent, and cruel.
I think this movie hits all those.
I was going to say that. So let's kind of get right into it. The premise of our new to you neo-noir cycle is we each pick something, a noir film, 60s or 70s onward, that we had not seen before. This movie, King of New York, a 1990 neo-noir crime drama directed by Abel Ferrara. Hold on a second, because I just want to make absolutely sure that I do this correctly. Synopsis in brief. After David Caruso kills Jimmy Jump, looks like I got the jump on Jimmy.
To our audio listeners, Johnny has put on sunglasses and looks like a young Joe Biden.
I've been feeling kind of sleepy in this heat.
Hey, let me tell you something, Jack.
All right, 8. Other synopses in brief?
Synopsis in brief. Philanthropy underwritten by cocaine.
Nice.
All right, I got one.
Yep.
Synopsis in brief. A city full of assholes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big gas leak energy.
Yeah.
Naveen, you have anything?
Synopsis in brief. Frankenhooker, just the tip.
Oh,
Yeah.
you stole mine.
How do you
nice.
put Jamie Lawrence in a movie and like not have him say anything the entire time? Up till including him being the victim of a roast.
No, didn't he?
Synopsis in brief.
Mhm.
Scientist responsible for giving life to Frankenhooker brutally murdered by fire hydrant.
It's true. It's true.
That's almost verbatim my Letterboxd review.
Yeah, that
I was
one
like,
line in there.
he's not dead. He can't be dead. And I'm like, oh, he's not getting up.
Oh yeah, no, that would definitely stop you in your tracks.
Yeah.
It's like going, what, 20 miles an hour?
Mm-hmm. Straight into a fire hydrant.
I think that was my favorite kill of the movie.
Some good kills in this one.
Yeah. I audibly gasped when it happened. I went, oh!
Watch out, fire lane.
Ooh.
Synopsis in brief. Or you take the blue pill and you get fucked up, motherfucker.
I had to write that down in my notes. Room service, motherfuckers.
That was my actually first draft Pod Daddy idea.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, King of New York stars Christopher Walken, Lawrence Larry Fishburne, David Caruso, Victor Argo, and Wesley Snipes, with actors like Giancarlo Esposito and Steve Buscemi making early career appearances in supporting roles. The film only earned half its $5 million budget and received mixed reviews from critics on release, with many criticizing the film's violence and dark, lurid tone. The film did attain a cult status on home video, especially with African-American audiences. Biggie Smalls famously called it his favorite movie of all time and would refer to himself as the Black Frank White. Retrospective reviews have been more positive. The film now holds a 74% positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes and is widely considered one of Abel Ferrara's absolute best. 2 stars from Roger Ebert writing at the time, who says, Walken glides through the movie with his usual polished and somehow sinister ease, a man supremely confident of his ability to succeed in an arena where most people end up dead. Part of his genius is to control a large gang of black drug dealers whose fealty to him is hard to explain, though perhaps they enjoy attending business meetings in his suite at the Plaza Hotel. Eventually, the empire breaks up, however, in double crossings and reprisals, broken loyalties, and stool pigeons, although it will take a viewer more clever than myself to explain exactly what happens in the fragmented labyrinth of the movie's plot. So let's get to general impressions. Naveen, this was your pick, the cycle. So let's start with you. What drew you to this film to begin with, and what you think about your first watch?
Just looking through, I wanted to look at some, I guess, older neo-noirs that I hadn't seen that would be considered more classics, and then this one just caught my eye in the synopsis of, of the few articles and things that you had sent out in the group chat there. And it was just really neat, especially with just the one thing was the star-studded cast. Like, it was impressive, just the laundry list of actors and actresses
people that were either right about to become famous or would take another 20 years, but it's crazy the number of just a film like this. You'll see maybe 2-3 people in the background. Like, this thing has like close to like a dozen.
Yeah, just get their basically like a lot of their beginnings right here.
Imagine that too. It's like Steve Buscemi's in it as like a random role at the beginning. Where he's like testing out drugs.
A guy called Test Tube, and that's it. Never comes back. Never really does anything else.
Never comes back.
Yeah.
Also, a movie that David Caruso shines. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I did not expect to enjoy him as much as I did in this film. Like, as you mentioned, star-studded cast.
Right.
Out of everybody, I'm like, how can anybody stand out? There's just so much talent there. It's crazy.
Right. But again, a lot of them weren't really known then. So it was like they were just beginning, and they
Giancarlo, it took him another 20 years to like have like
oh, seriously?
Yeah. It was definitely one of those DiCaprio meme things, like he's in it.
Right.
I
Do you
didn't
know
remember
that?
him in anything prior to like kind of his more Renaissance era. Now, like I don't remember ever seeing him in anything prior to
Yeah,
like
me neither.
Breaking Bad, maybe.
Right. I think Breaking Bad is the first time
True.
I remember
Yeah.
being introduced to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys picked up on it. Vanessa Angel,
Vanessa
who we
Angel.
just saw in
Yeah.
Kingpin. She's in that as like random British female.
Yeah.
I watched the clip right before we started. Her haircut completely unrecognizable. You just
I didn't recognize her at all. I went back and tried to pick her out, and I was like, okay, I guess that's her. But I think when she's in Kingpin, she's a little older, so you know
Right.
her features kind of settled. But that's my nice way of saying it.
She grew into her face.
I'm a
Right.
gentleman, okay?
Hmm.
You are quite the gentleman.
Also, just like any of these things, you know, it's just random sort of background performers. David Proval, most famous for kind of playing Richie Aprile on the second season of Sopranos, and was also the airplane pilot in Monster Squad. Is just like a random, like a background gangster in this one.
Ooh,
Oh, looking.
What's his
no
I
crap.
didn't notice him in there.
Yeah.
Did
What's
not
his
notice
name?
him.
David Proval.
David Proval. Yeah. And then Harold Perrineau, if that's that how you pronounce his last name, that was like, oh, it's Mercutio from Romeo and Juliet.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys did you guys clock Teresa Randall? Do you actually kind of know? I guess she's reasonably well known supposedly, but I didn't. I guess she was Martin Lawrence's wife in Bad Boys, and I guess she's had a huge career, but just not in anything else that I've watched.
I also watched that movie, that Spawn movie back in the day.
Oh, of course, yeah.
She was in that as well, and I think she was like the ex-wife or whatever.
Okay, that would make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I had seen her in a number of things, but I couldn't have told you one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never knew her name.
Right.
You know.
So Naveen, like this is a movie that sort of kind of just it jumped out from you for like the time frame, the poster. What'd you think of this one? How was the experience of watching it?
This was a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it. I went in expecting kind of more of a gangster movie or a mob guy that started from the bottom and worked his way up, but it starts with him coming out of jail. Like, so he already had a presence, and then he just built up his empire even more and was just like all gung-ho. So it was like off to the races right off the bat, and it was really cool. Just everything, the way he tried to work through it and work through the other gangs and other areas. And it's like, all right, let's work together. And they're like, no, I'm not working with you. And he's like, okay. And just takes him out. And it was just really cool. And then you see the other side of it with the police officers like trying to stop him and stop this whole thing. And
the police officers progressively losing their mind as like things go
right.
on. Yeah.
So it was just fantastically done. And just the way they were, and then put together at the end. The ending was just really cool. I won't give any away just yet as we go through it, and we'll probably end up getting there, but it was just really well done the way that was written and portrayed. The ending, and you just kind of infer what goes on.
Sweet.
I feel like you kind of eased you into this one watching Risky Business previously, because there's the whole, kind of sex scene on the train thing that you see it a second time now. You're like, this is tasteful. I like this.
You know what would have improved that scene on the subway though? Just a little bit of Phil Collins. It doesn't even have to be. The muggers come out there like, give us your money, and he's just like, do.
Yo, there's something in the air tonight.
Andy, let's go to you for general impressions. What do you think of this one?
Okay, so I'll start with, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I thought it was just a fun, messy, violent movie. The plot is super thin. The character development, pretty shallow. This movie is like all about the vibe. It's just like, it's all about style over substance, not necessarily in a bad way. But yeah, it's just like the whole time I'm watching it going like, this movie's just cool in like in a way that movies today just aren't.
Not to mention, I would certainly say unhinged in a way. It just a comparison I thought had is like kind of what the original Toxic Avenger was compared to kind of watching like the modern week. Like there's this stuff in there they can't really do the same kind of way.
Yeah. Christopher Walken plays Christopher Walken again. But like, I don't begrudge him that at all. I am totally fine with Christopher Walken just being himself in every movie from this point forward, and that's totally fine by me.
Up till and including Dune Part 2, where he's the Emperor of Space.
Yes, but he's just Christopher Walken.
Yes.
Choice. Andy's Box Lunch. Andy's Box Lunch. I'm gonna go 3 stars on this one.
3 stars. Okay.
Yep, wow. 3 stars. And I don't know if that's a good score or a bad score anymore. But I'm taking, in this case, I'm looking at it as it's like a solid B movie.
All right. Papa, general impressions. Let's go to you.
All right, fellas. This is what I have to say about this one. To me, this is one of those movies where you hate the bad guys, but you also hate the good guys. So you really don't care by the end of the movie, like who really won or lost, but you just kind of stick around to find out what happens anyways. That said, I think a younger version of myself would have thought this was like a badass movie.
Yeah.
It's violent. It's edgy. I mean, Christopher Walken's a pimp. What can I say? I think seeing it now, it's a fun watch, something you can throw on. Like you mentioned, Andy, the story, there's something there. I don't think it matters that this movie even has any kind of story whatsoever. It's just like everybody's trying to kill everybody else, all on the premise of trying to save a hospital, which, I mean, did they even save the hospital in the end? I don't know. And I kept thinking that too. I'm like, wait, which hospital did Christopher Walken go to at the end of the movie? They probably bought him there. They're like, does he have insurance? Maybe not. So I thought it was all right.
Right. I had the experience watching this movie the first just on the initial pass. I went in knowing very, very little. And it reminded me of eating really good but really shitty Mexican food, where your brain is just telling you as you're eating it this entire time, like a core part of you is saying, "This is delicious. Keep stuffing this in your kind of fat, sweaty face." But part of your higher consciousness, like the second I stop eating, I'm just going to feel terrible and hate myself. So I was entertained, and then I got to the end of the movie. I'm like, wow, that kind of stunk. That was really, really shocking. I pivoted a lot on it though, listening to a very long conversation with Quentin Tarantino on a different podcast. We're watchable. Somebody we kind of shouted out on the show before, but Tarantino had learning a bit more about the movie kind of like improved my opinion of it like quite a bit, because Tarantino was literally making Reservoir Dogs at the same studio at the same time that Abel Ferrara was making King of New York. And with just like the conversation he had on the podcast, so like he was just going like, you have to understand like a few different things about this movie. It's like, Ferrara he's making a 70s blaxploitation movie, except he's putting it in the 90s. He's adding brand new music, sort of brand new style. Like Schoolie D was a kind of scary, dangerous, hardcore rapper at the time, one of the first kind of big guys out of Philadelphia. The explanation was, he's modernizing kind of 70s blaxploitation. He's adding in kind of 30s German Expressionism with all the Nosferatu shit. He's adding in 60s and 70s Italian horror with all like the lighting and the luridness of it. And he's even adding in. He's like, you have to understand, in 1990, Hong Kong action movies were like the greatest shit on the planet. He's even doing like a little bit of that himself. Learning about this movie a bit more, like I said in the intro, this was huge for Black audiences. Like this is Biggie Small's favorite movie of all time. Just I'm the Black. Frank White was just like a very sort of famous kind of just kind of like just the way that he kind of that he spoke about himself. He's like, everybody knew every Frank white line. Everybody knew every Jimmy Jump line, and he's like, within the conversation, they're like, this is not really a consistent movie. Some of the performances aren't too great. Some of the casting doesn't make sense. The action isn't really at the level it should be. But he's like, you gotta understand that this is a really interesting pastiche of like a whole bunch of different things, and also this is the movie that kicked off 90s hip-hop gangster films. He's like, without this, you don't get Boys in the Hood, you don't get New Jack City or Clockers or Menace to Society. And it's like, without this movie, you don't get like a lot of the elevated kind of cop and gangster television that was made in like the subsequent like kind of 15-20s. Like you don't get Homicide, you don't get The Wire, you don't get The Shield, and you certainly don't get the versions of this that are excellent, if not sublime. Like Sopranos doesn't happen without a movie like this. Like The Wire doesn't happen like movies like this. The idea of like the cops being kind of as crazy and violent and sort of morally kind of culpable as the criminals or something like that. Just like, you have to understand, like, that was, I guess, really rare in America for its time. It was just a very, very different angle on things. I found this one kind of baffling, but like the more I've like listened to, the more I've like listened to about it and like learned about it, it's certainly kind of grown in my esteem like a little bit.
I also want to give Can I give a shout out to the guy that played Artie Clay? What a fucking talented actor to be able to piss on demand in front of the entire cast and crew.
Right. They say like, eating while you're doing a scene is one of the tricky things. No, just kind of piss it on command, particularly at that age.
Most of the movie, I was just kind of like leaning back on myself. I'm like, okay, yep. That scene, I just stood up and I'm just like, bravo.
What a
bravo. There's only one take on that. Although I heard he had 3 takes in him.
But you got to figure too, like those gangster card games go 7-8 hours sometimes. They were smelling piss the entire time. I don't want to say anything. Well, let's get into like the talking points. We'll first couple here from Naveen. First off, Frank White wanted to save a South Bronx hospital, but used drugs and murder to fund it. The police started out acting by the book, but eventually went rogue to try and stop Frank. What does your take about this film's message about like the ends justify the means? Naveen, you want to kick us off with this one?
Sure. I mean, it's just very interesting of first taking Frank White as he's trying to, kind of offhand in the beginning. Also, he mentions like, I want to be mayor of New York, just do good, but using, drug money and violence to get there. And that's where the whole hospital thing came in. And it just seemed like it was just another way to like launder money or something, but also, I guess, do well and help the community out in some way or another. So it's
or just like inadvertently fund that hospital with all those gunshot wounds they'd have to treat.
Yeah. But it's kind of like there's some sort of guilt, I suppose you could say, that's like, all right, I've done all these bad things and I'm doing them, but I'm also helping out the community and doing well there, or trying to,
right?
But
no guilt. There was no guilt. Look at Christopher Walken's face when he's happy. Like, it's just deadpan. You can't tell what he's thinking at all.
Right.
Like, this man has no emotion whatsoever.
We'll get into the vampire thing in a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think he felt bad for anything he did. He's just like, he's like, kill them all. That one, that one's getting away. Get that one too.
Yeah, possibly. I'm just throwing out some ideas, that there was maybe some guilt in there to want to help out the community and make it better while, doing what he enjoys doing. And then the other side is the police officers. They're getting fed up that with all this drug money and things, they can just buy their way out of it, and they can be free to go and not get reprimanded or any consequences for their crimes. So what better way to beat them but join them?
Right.
It's kind of basically what it was. So they It was just a way to try to win. Everybody wanted to win in their own way and couldn't do it without
Well, that's
going
sort of going outside the lines.
Yeah.
Right. Andy, anything to add to that? The ends justify the means?
Well, I mean, I guess first of all, to me, like Frank was motivated by power and vanity, not at all by altruism, as far as is at least the way he was portrayed. He loved his city, but he loved his status more. He put that on a much higher pedestal. The hospital completely seemed like an afterthought of his, and frankly, of the plots of
barely
the movie
in the
as
movie.
well.
Barely in the movie.
Yeah. And in fact, maybe I just missed it, but like I don't even remember the hospital becoming like a topic of conversation until really kind of towards the end. Like it wasn't clear that was at all supposed to be his motivation, to me anyway, that was supposed to be his motivation throughout the movie.
Right.
Yeah,
to me,
I
it just
agree
seemed
with
like
that.
he was.
I was gonna say it's like I think just to add to that, it's like he thinks he can do anything, right? And so when somebody says, "Hey, this hospital's going under," he's like, "I could pay for that hospital. How much is it? 60 million? Psh, yeah, I can get $60 million cash by next week. Yeah, sure." It's like he gets out of jail and he's just like top shit.
Yeah.
Although it's interesting. There's an angle you can kind of take out. Like it's just he gets out of jail. He starts kind of trying to build his power base back up. And if it were not for the cops, he probably would have succeeded. He takes down. It seems like he takes down Artie and the Italian mafia pretty much right away. He takes down David Cho and like the Chinatown mafia like pretty much right away. The cops going insane are just kind of like the only thing that sort of derail him the entire movie.
How crazy was that when it's like he bailed out his crew, and then they're like, "Hey, you know what? We got away with it," and then they go and kill more people.
Yeah,
and I'm like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Just stop!" Like you pretty much got away with it,
right?
But they couldn't stop.
A thing I wrote down early in this movie is everybody is acting like there's a gas leak. It's like like the scene with Jimmy Jump when he goes to get some takeout chicken. And he's screaming at the cashier the entire time. It's just being just absolutely miserable son of a bitch to this guy, threatening him everything else. And then he sees the little kids, they want to play video games. He's like, "Oh yeah, just here's some quarters, young man." It's just and he gives like $100 bill to the grandma, and she's like, "Yeah, just God bless you, take care of yourself now." And turns around and just kind of starts screaming at like the fast food cashier again.
He was high as shit.
Yeah.
Also, his buddy getting like arrested on the street and all those that all happening.
Everything taking place in the background. And he's like, "No, let's get some like cornbread and let's get some ribs and he's like the onion rings." And he's like, "You want ketchup and tartar sauce?" He's like, "Tartar sauce."
Yeah,
I love those scenes where something's happening in the background and then the main characters are completely oblivious to it. And then when the two like collide, you're like, "Yes,
right.
What's gonna happen?"
I just kind of have like a hard time seeing this being an ends justify the means movie because that usually implies the characters have to kind of build their way up to it. At some point, it seems like, I mean, Christopher Walken gets out of jail and like the first thing that he does basically is just murder like the Italian boss in cold blood, or the cops get sort of one setback and they're kind of mocked by the criminals, and then David Caruso has this whole speech, not in some private back alley or like but like a whole speech in front of a bar, in front of everybody at the bar. It's like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm tired of just being a cop. We need to murder. We need to plan and execute a murder."
Also, they have like all the women lined up, and he just keeps like bending them over and kissing them. And it's like, was it the bride that just got married? He goes right in, and the guy's like, hey, buddy, that's my wife. What are you doing? He's just like, "All right, give me somebody else."
No, he's just like, "Go make one of your own."
There was no point in that movie where I didn't think that the cops were going to go rogue and, turn into just as bad as the bad guys. Like from the very beginning, they seemed like scumbags.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this is a conceit. This is a story framework that they do so well in The Wire. This this concept, which when you kind of look at the history of these things, is kind of like a relatively recent one, but the idea that what sort of kind of differentiates the cops in the criminals in certain cities in certain in certain kind of time periods, it's not even so much this morality that one of them has or the other one lacks in as much as like kind of what this film, like a lot of others, kind of say, which is, you know, on both sides they're kind of violent, obsessive, kind of overly driven psychos, like at the end of the day. And you know, it's just some ended up in this place because of some reasons, and others ended up in this place because of those others. But you know, at the end of this movie, like the way that these guys are all sort of behaving is just completely indistinguishable, right?
I like it. It's like everybody's either really good or really bad at their job.
Yeah, yeah. Here's like and you know, just thinking about this. Here's like a little thought exercise. Imagine a version of this movie, but they just switch all the casts. So it's like Victor Argo and David Caruso and Wesley Snipes are just like are the mob, and Walken is a police chief that he's actually, I looked it up, he's played in kind of some movies, and you know, just and Fishburne and Juan Carlo and the rest of them are actually sort of like, you know, just officers and detectives working on it.
Snipes and Fishburne swap roles.
Yeah.
Caruso and Walken maybe work the Argo.
Yeah. It's kind of pretty much the same movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Next talking point. We've discussed the Moby Dick theme in the past, how some pursuits just aren't worth it. They can kind of make things worse. Taking revenge on Ernie McCracken in the bowling competition, bringing Noah Cross to justice in Chinatown, breaking the Donkey Kong world record, chasing a girl belonging to Guido the Killer Pimp. Does the King of New York portray something similar about sort of like the dangers of obsessiveness and just single-mindedly sort of pursuing a kind of impossible goal like this?
I think broadly, yes. You know, Frank thinks he can buy respect and, you know, kind of redemption through violence. But the deeper he goes into it, the messier it tends to get. The cops get kind of sucked into it as well. They take this obsession about like busting Frank and his gang, and it kind of devolves into its own kind of chaos. Yeah, I mean, it's the whole plot is basically like, it can be boiled down to like all this shit we're doing is just going to end up being way more trouble than it's worth ultimately.
Right.
I was going to say he essentially, by the end of the film, he does not accomplish what he set out to accomplish. He dies way too early because he just thinks that he's invincible. He just walks up to these mob bosses, just shoots them point blank, kills them, shoots the cops point blank.
Towards the end of the film, he takes a limo to a police funeral and pops David Caruso in the head with a shotgun.
A fucking scene. That was like, that made immediately I thought of One Battle After Another.
Sure.
Right? At towards the end there with Sean Penn, he's just kind of like, hey, what do you want? And the guy pulls up next to him and just pulls window down, shoot him in the face with a shotgun. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Very good comp. I like that.
This movie, I'm telling you, it's just Walken doesn't know when to stop. It just keeps going and going and going. He keeps pushing it and pushing it. And then you just start questioning by the end, what is this all about? It's definitely not about the hospital.
Right.
So who are you doing this for? Is
that's why I kept coming back to gas leak over and over. I'm like
gas,
right.
Gas leak.
The shootout under the bridge. Caruso's much funnier little brother has already died, and Caruso doesn't even kind of take the beat. He's like, yeah, maybe I can like properly hook up with a bride now. But they're under the bridge. Snipes is dead. He's trying to give him CPR. He's trying to resuscitate him. It gets sort of vaguely sort of sexual at one point. And then he's chasing down Jimmy Jump, and he shot up Jimmy Jump a bunch. And rather than dying, Jump is just kind of writhing around on the ground, just delighted that things have just kind of gone that way.
I love watching that scene with subtitles on. And it just says like, Jimmy Jump laughing ecstatically. I'm not sure, maybe. And then I had to listen closely. I'm like, maybe he's laughing, he's crying. I don't know. He's a mess.
He's having a good time though.
He was having a great time.
He had a full chicken dinner first.
He's jumping all over the place.
Naveen, anything to add to like the Moby Dick stuff? Do you want to call on any of us a nerd for answering first, or what do you want to do?
Do you want to know about the book Moby Dick? I can tell you.
All right.
Yeah.
I literally have my college copy in the next.
I did my homework. Actually, you know what? Listen to the previous episode.
Right. I mean, I guess you guys talked about Frank White, but I'm also thinking about Bishop, the main detective there. You know, he was really trying hard to get White, but doing it by the book until at the end, you know, killed all these cops were killed, and Frank White, as you mentioned, kills the Russo at the cemetery, and he's like,
Bishop is the one they have to face off in the subway at the end.
yes,
it's like the worst line readings from him, like in the entire movie.
Right.
I was waiting for Walken to get like one more chance at boob right before it happens. He's like, you know what, I'm going out. He's like, he's already at the top at that point. He's like, where's my chick? Bring her over.
Right.
Little boob. He's like, all right, you may proceed.
I don't want to step on any Vigo's toes, but Janet Julian, the actress who plays that lawyer that Walken takes down the subway, on the podcast I listened to, there was some kind of complaints about she seems like a little bit weird. She seems like a little bit out of place. I have a theory, looking at this woman's career, like the most famous thing she was in, other than The King of New York, is she was Nancy Drew on a really successful TV show in the 80s for like a really long time. And standing theory, you know, just who knows what actually was going to go in Ferrara's head. But I think her whole character in that whole scene is really just kind of set up to say, like, look at this famously beautiful, like look at this beautiful and extremely wholesome, straight-laced woman. Then check out how this vampire can basically just kind of bring it down to like the underground, and just kind of pull a tit out like in the middle of public.
It's an interesting theory. I thought she was, to me, such a strange casting choice. I didn't know she didn't fit the part as far as I was concerned. She didn't look the part. She didn't act the part.
The Nancy Drew thing is like the only kind of like theory that I have for really.
I mean, it makes as much sense as anything else, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's just weird. She like went along with everything and didn't say much. And then when she had to lawyer, she lawyered. Right. And then the rest of the time, she's like, "All right, I'm back to being just like a toy."
It may be Ferrara just trying to like invoke kind of like, you know, this is like a Mina Harkness type, very kind of pure good girl that still just kind of gets seduced by the darkness.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. On kind of that note, though, but when the movie was released in 1990, the sexual and violent elements were really considered excessive. Like this movie had to be cut down from its original kind of 2 hours and change to not receive an X rating. This is actually the last year.
Really?
They used X before kind of transitioning to NC-17. I honestly think something like the jumpiness and like the kind of borderline incoherence of the movie, you kind of read of like there's another 20-30 minutes of plot, particularly like in like the back half of it, that maybe explain this stuff like a little bit better.
That's an interesting thought. I hadn't put that together. I knew that they had to do a bunch of cuts to make it, you know, a non-X movie, but yeah, you're right. I mean, who knows how much of the plot got kind of cut out with the you know, the sexy stuff.
Right. So how do these elements come across by kind of 2026 standards? Do you think the like the stuff like the violence of it, like the luridness, you know, particularly that crazy scene like the I guess it's supposed to be a strip club, like the whole kind of blue lit thing where everybody's kind of dancing to Schooly D. Do these elements, do you think they add or detract from the film and the way it's made?
Can I say it?
Please.
When I saw this question and I watched this film, the first thought that popped in my head was the Simpsons episode where Homer's in hell and he's being fed donuts. And I go, all right, I know what you like. Yeah, your donuts, your special donuts. All right, here we go. I'm gonna feed you until you explode or whatever. And then it just
keeps going.
Rows and rows of donuts just get shoved in his mouth. And he's like, more. He's like, how many donuts can this guy eat? I was like, as soon as I saw the dancers, I saw these. I categorize these, by the way, as I guess what you might say, the African American version of the orgies at Eyes Wide Shut.
Sure.
Just they're like, what would you want at the perfect orgy? They're like, coke, dancing naked women, like loud, like hip hop music.
Uh-huh.
They're like, all right, done.
Blue light
Done.
bulbs, as many blue light bulbs as you can find.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I mean, I don't think it's anything that's like breaking any boundaries. Maybe for 1990s standards, it was.
Yeah.
The fact
Even though, I mean,
it's
not
like it's
I hate to call it
it's
pain,
not
but it doesn't seem
dangerous.
crazy either for like that year.
The only dangerous part was when it was at the very end, and there was the
Mhm.
guy that I guess he was maybe undercover cop or something like that, and he got taken up to the room upstairs, and the girl was like licking coke off his belly, and he had the kind of the gun sticking out of his
We
pants there.
we saw that shit in the 80s though. Like that's not.
It didn't go anywhere. He's like, get off of me, yuck. It's like I don't like women. What is this? And I was like, wow, they're getting all the bases in this one.
Right.
He's like, bring me a fella, come on, it's a real party.
The Schooly D soundtrack, I think, just that's kind of what made those scenes amazing. Beyond anything else,
I wouldn't mind being at one of those parties.
I was watching. I lived in New York for 3 years, but like I was just doing,
You didn't see any of those? What if the girl that was like spinning her tatas was also spinning the discs as like the DJ? That'd be kind of cool.
It seems like a Brooklyn thing. I lived in Lower Manhattan.
It also looked painful. I'm like, oh my god, how long was she dancing for? Keep going. More
coke. You don't know.
I would like to have seen like certainly the full version of this, and it's a these what I feel this becomes an easier movie to kind of accept and deal with when you're just like, okay, this is a 90s version of like a 70s film, like everything we talked about sort of in Enter the Dragon, which is like the whole. There didn't need to be the whole subplot of like the fighters have just kind of like their choice of the slave women on the island, everything.
They kind of did. I think they
one
did.
thing that kind of makes it fun at the end of the day.
Bruce Lee's like, I insist that scene's in there. He's like, I wrote that scene in the film.
Right. Any other thoughts?
What about the violence? What do you guys think about the violence? So the sexiness is there. The violence, do you think it was over the top?
I think both the sex and the violence was over the top. Like it was kind of cartoonish in some ways.
Again, Reservoir Dogs has a more violent scene that literally came out the same year and was being made on the same lot as this one.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were like contemporaries of one another.
Yeah. No, it's the interview with Tarantino was wild. Like this is one of his favorite movies. He considers Ferrara a friend. He wrote walk-in scene in Pulp Fiction, like that the whole thing of like, I snuck my watch back through just like I can't do the voice, but like I was in Vietnam and I had to hide like the watch from Charlie, and I stuck this uncomfortable hunk of metal right up my ass. And he's like it's like Tarantino's like I saw King of New York, went home and wrote that scene that night. I'm like, my next movie has to have like a Christopher Walken monologue in it.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's kind of like touch on the vampire stuff like a little bit, but Ferrara has cited German Expressionist director F.W. Murnau as a big inspiration. Murnau's classic vampire film Nosferatu is even shown being watched by cast members of the fucking movie, as if it wasn't obvious enough. In what ways is The King of New York a vampire film?
I mean,
and let me talk about here to start. Him leaving Sing Sing and like the long, extended, drawn-out shot of the Sing Sing doors closing behind him. That's literally the vampire leaving his castle and going out to the countryside. I think.
Yeah, I mean, he prowls is the word that kind of comes to mind. Like he prowls the city. He's a predator. Instead of blood, well, I guess even including blood, but he lives off of money and power and fear. I guess the cops are like the Van Helsing, hunting him and trying to stop him. But ultimately he's kind of this unstoppable presence, I guess, until he's not at the end. But
I was trying to remember after, is he ever shown in daylight at any point in this movie?
The scene where he kills David Caruso, I think was the only
but
time.
he's inside of a limo. He's
true,
not
yeah.
outside.
He just stuck his arm out for a bit.
Right.
He's just like, no, not all the way, just the tip.
Yeah, I don't think he does get shown in
like direct sunlight.
I was
thinking that same thing. He's at most of the time, like all the major like death scenes are at night. Like he's always going, and you strike at night when they don't expect it, I guess, and then you can hide it away from the cops. I was trying to think again, the whole thing with like trying to recruit people instead of like biting them. What you do is you offer them their like deepest desires. It's like the guys that he sees on the subway. He's like, he just randomly gives them like they try to.
He's like, money, and you can come to the Plaza Hotel.
He's getting some boob on the subway.
Right.
Three brothers walk up. They're like, give me your money. He's just like, pulls out a wad. He's like, here's the money. You want more? You meet me at the Plaza Hotel.
Right.
So right there, they're like, damn, we can get white chicks and money.
Do
it. Do it.
Well, this may be, at least for like the screenwriting part, that may be the rationalization of like, why does this pale white dude control complete love and obedience from like an all black gang? Is because he's not a white guy. He's a fucking vampire. He's like a demon.
The weird thing about Christopher Walken's role in this, he's pretty faithful. He's with one woman the whole time.
Yeah.
Even though he's promoting like, sex as a way to like get people to join him. He at no point is he going over and taking, he walks with the women when he's at like his place, but he's not doing anything with them.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like I don't know. I felt at one point.
I mean, like, which kind of sort of fits, like the Bram Stoker kind of like, this Nancy Drew chick may have kind of just resembled like his kind of true love.
But at the party, right? He's always by himself. He always feels out of place. He's kind of like lurking.
Right.
Everybody kind of ignores him. He's there in the shadows, just kind of doing his own thing. It's weird. I feel like they don't even realize it's his place or that he's there.
Right.
They're just attracted to whatever it is that he has created.
Well, which again, kind of sort of like attaches to it, kind of reinforces like the entire vampire thing. The Chinatown mob boss who has all his cocaine hidden in MSG barrels, which is kind of like
that was nice.
But they murder him and leave him hanging upside down on the ceiling like he was a fucking bat.
Dude, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, Christ, other vampire stuff.
Do we want to clarify that you and I have never seen a vampire film together before? I think we should just put that out there in case people are curious.
Is that a true thing?
I
believe you if you're saying that's so real.
I think
you and I have never watched a vampire film together.
I think if we just say it enough, it can just negate what actually happened. I mean, I've.
Okay.
Is this a
there's a story here
moment?
No, this is the whole thing with Twilight.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast about Twilight, literally.
John and vampires. I don't know what it is. I feel like he just can't give this up. He's like, give me vampires, 300.
Did we see the John Carpenter movie Vampires in the theaters together?
No.
I feel like you were there for that. You don't think so?
No.
Naveen, same question.
No, we didn't see that.
Did I go by myself?
Maybe. I think I remember you and Eric talking about Vampire in Brooklyn. I think that was your favorite one.
Vampire in Brooklyn?
Oh, with Eddie Murphy?
Murphy.
Yeah.
This movie was about vampires in Brooklyn.
Maybe that wasn't Johnny. Maybe that was just you, Naveen. And that was me, like behind your sofa, just kind of leaning over your shoulder, watching, just being like, "Oh yeah."
Angela Bassett, man, like just disappeared for a long time, came back, Wakanda forever.
Yeah, I'm like, I was just like breathing your ear. I'm like, don't turn around. I'm not your wife, but don't turn around.
Vigo's toes. There's quite a lot. There's quite a lot in this movie, but who wants to kick it off?
Several of mine have already been discussed. One of which was the whole Notorious B.I.G. Frank White connection, which I never. So back in the day, I used to listen to Notorious B.I.G. Not nearly as much now, but certainly back in like the late 90s when I was, in high school, and I listened to his stuff a lot. I never had any idea what the Frank White reference was to.
That was like a detail you would blow over.
Yeah, I just had no idea. Now I do. But the one that I thought was the most interesting, the word fuck is used 90 times in this film. Woo. So there you go. And probably at least 15 or 20 times in this very podcast.
Fucking hell.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I got a bunch. I'll
All right, let me drop one quickly.
Yeah, sure.
I guess so instead of Christopher Walken, Harvey Keitel was supposed to play Frank White.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
According to Tarantino.
Would have been a different movie, would have also been
It would have. I guess he read the script and he just felt it wasn't for him. So he ended up agreeing to do the next film with Ferrara, which was Bad Lieutenant.
Interesting. And that also sort of that got him on the pipeline probably for being in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And I guess Reservoir Dogs I guess was happening at the exact same time. So.
Yeah. Yep.
One of mine was taken as well with the X rating and the NC-17 rating, but I had another one as well, which I thought was pretty interesting. That Ferrara and screenwriter Nicholas St. John, they took about 5 years to write this script to get it really down. So there was not a lot of space or room for improvisation or anything. So they're like, we wrote this script, took us about 5 years, and this is how it's going to be.
How long did it take them to come up with a line? Let me take you to the subway, as I want to feel your boob.
Well, that's why the movie won Best Picture that year.
I heard in the original script her character's name was Scoops. I don't know what it's in reference to, but
that was just stage direction, so it wasn't actually.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Exhales, Scoops, enters.
This movie was released the same year as Goodfellas. Wesley Snipes was living in his car when they made this movie, and then if you look at his IMDb, the next 2 years he does 6 hugely famous movies in a row, and basically becomes like a superstar. Like after that, starting with New Jack City, but like there's a whole bunch of others. The original Murnau Nosferatu film, the vampire is played by a guy, like an actor named Max Schreck. And there's always been like a little mystery, a little ambiguity around that because nobody in Germany in the 1930s was actually named Max Schreck. Christopher Walken, 2-3 years later, in Batman Returns, plays a character named Max Schreck. 1990 was also the year of Christopher Walken's debut on SNL.
Wow.
He went right from the Plaza to the Continental. I highlighted that in my notes just to make sure that
Good for you.
Rockefeller.
So I'll bring this up. I didn't want to filthy this podcast with this fun fact, but
shoot.
1988, Donald Trump purchased the Plaza Hotel. He allowed the production film to film there for free as long as Walken would take a photo with Ivana Trump, who was put in charge to manage the hotel.
1990 also, He Who Should Not Be Named and the Plaza Hotel. This is the same year as
Don't give that one a name either.
Yeah.
That hotel that should not be named.
Yeah. Same year as Home Alone 2.
I was going to say Home Alone 2 is 92. Yeah.
Yeah. Abel Ferrara. I shared some photos like ahead of our record of just a normal seeming dude, like even now. Pictures of his of just him and all his teeth falling out and his like 40-year.
That's who that was. That was I saw that picture way before I watched this film, and I had no idea who that was.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
He's
pretty good for himself.
His wife of 10 years, very beautiful Romanian actress. They have like a little girl. He looks at about 112. Like in every like photo, he kind of does look like a Frank White-esque vampire in most of those things.
Yep.
So it does look insane. Ferrara, though, 1976, he made this under a pseudonym at the time, but has since proudly owned his direction of the film. Was the was the lead creator of a porn film called The 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy.
Okay, then.
So what was that, Eric? You didn't want to make it filthy?
I just wanted to say that movie also avoided an X rating.
By mostly being released just in Soviet bloc countries.
Just had a bunch of people peeing on each other's feet.
And then playing cards for 12 hours.
Yeah. What are you doing between cards? Take a leak.
This movie was co-funded by Silvio Berlusconi, disgraced Prime Minister of Italy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't have the like the 90s hip hop education that Andy apparently does, but Schoolie D tributes two original two songs to this film. Also, was the writer performer of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force theme song. So that means I've probably heard the man's music probably like 1,000 times in my life.
I didn't know that.
Very cool.
Very cool. The King of New York. Closing thoughts on this.
I was waiting for that to go somewhere and it didn't.
It just
is that like
that's kind of like the third act.
That's like bad Mexican food. It just made its way through finally.
You just have to keep pushing through.
I gotta take a shit. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go, fellas.
Yeah. I ate all this Mexican food so I don't starve. Just fucking in Dune Part 2, which Eric still will not watch.
No,
because he just insists on he just needs to hurt me. But walking, he's sitting on a fucking throne, just going, Paul Madib has these giant sandworms.
Anybody else want some food? I'm starving here. I got some baklava. You like baklava? Look at the little one. The little one starving.
Baklava, and I went, wow.
Wow. Is this walnuts?
All right. Anything else, guys, or you want to wind down King of New York?
You know what? I don't care what either of them say, Naveen. Good pick.
I'm done with this film.
I did love it, but I've had such a great fucking time thinking about it. I've been really looking for this conversation. Like this is one of these where it's just like you always got to check if a movie doesn't land for you. I think it's always looking up what does the culture think about it. What was the long standing? If no one else, if you hate something, you just like no one else really enjoys this or talks about this. This movie got a lot more interesting to me when I kind of just sort of peeled apart kind of like the history behind it, you know. So I still had a good time with this one.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, we're good.
I liked watching Jimmy Jamp.
Jimmy Jump.
Jimmy Jump. I was trying to say the past tense of jump, but jump didn't seem appropriate, so I went with Jamp. Jimmy Jamped.
That's that Japanese training that you've had. I think there's like automatic like negative formula. Jumpy nai.
Jump.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else that's going to be said about King of New York, let's get on to our 2026 Oscar pool results. Now, this is kind of like a last minute thing that we did. I disqualified myself from the contest because, like I said, next week, we're going to all be sort of reading and performing some bullshit that I wrote. The stakes in this thing is for episode 91. That's after we finish the New to You Neo-Noir cycle. Whoever won the Oscar poll gets to program, pick the topic, and entirely decide to control what they want to do for episode 91 of the show. Big stakes here. All right. So it came out, and it was, at least for me, a super interesting Oscars to didn't actually watch, but sort of which had a couple social media feeds, constantly refreshing. Was texting the group chat long after everybody on the East Coast had gone to bed. But this is like the breakdown. In third place, or I guess kind of technically second place, Eric with 7 points. We all made predictions for like 26 Oscar categories that were being presented that year. And then tied for first place was Naveen and Andy for 10 points each. Guys, how do you feel that you did like on like the pool itself? Just like have fun with this? What was the experience like?
It was fun. I don't care about my score because I picked who I wanted to win, not who I thought would win, who I wanted to win. So I feel like in the end, the fact that I got more than 5 points, I was the winner.
Considering that I had only seen 3 of the movies that were nominated, and I think now it's 4 because I saw Zootopia too. Right. I was surprised at how well I did because they were pretty much all guesses. But as I mentioned in the group chat, I basically did this in the same way that I play fantasy football, which is to say that I just sort of guess, and sometimes I'm right, and most of the times I'm wrong.
Right.
But in this case, it paid off at least a little bit. Well, I guess we'll see if it paid off if I actually get to have my choice, which I will tell you. I'm not going to spoil it, but I do have something already picked out that I really would love to, for all of us to watch.
It doesn't even have to be a movie. This is full control over what we think and talk about for episode 91.
I feel like it's a whole movie. Maybe he wants us to watch.
Nope. This is I will say the only thing I will say is this is a tab that I have had open on my phone for about 3 months now of a film that I was trying to figure out how best to get us to watch it, to the point where I was actually brainstorming, and I may still have to do this, brainstorming what cycles I could pitch that this movie would fit into.
Is it Sleepwalkers?
Oh, Eric. I promise you there is it's not even a non-zero. There is a 0% chance that any one of you would ever pick what it is. And
I don't know what that means. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be willing to bet that none of us have seen
We have to pass around a DVD of like the first season of the Janet, Julie, and Nancy Drew TV show. Yeah.
That might be it. But anyway.
What happened behind the old waterfall?
I mean, for me, though, you also picked Almost Famous. So do I really trust you in this one?
Hey.
Right. Let's go to just rather than litigating all that, let's save that tension for the table read where the two of you will spend most of the record screaming at each other.
Wait. You know what it is going to be, right?
What's that?
I feel like you're all going to be competing against me to try to make me watch Dune 2. I'm almost 100%.
Yeah. We'll enjoy it at least as much as King of New York.
Who wants some baklava?
But let's go to Naveen, who kind of lamented early on, like, "Oh, I suck at this. I picked random stuff. I had no idea." And look at you, Mister, tied for first.
I have no idea. I mean, there's movies I've heard of, but I never watched them. I think Sinners was the only one I've actually watched. A lot of new actors on there, actresses that I don't know, directors, and
you picked Ugly Stepsister. I actually watched that on Honey the Goose. It was like a Shudder original.
Oh yeah,
were you going to pick Ugly Step? Let's do Ugly Step. Like, put a pin in that. Let's do that movie for Cunny.
Yeah, it's a French horror movie. I talked about it on Cunny before. It's all right. It's disturbing.
Yes. Let's absolutely keep that in the back of my
head. I had no idea what it was. I mean, even Johnny was in the chat. You know, do you know what begonia is? I'm like, I have no clue. Never heard of it, and I just chose it. It was like, you're a dumbass for choosing that one. That was not.
No, because it was like best soundtrack or something like it. It wasn't even like a. It was like such a niche pick that I'm just like, you ever heard of this thing?
That's just because it sounded like an Outkast album from 1996.
There you go.
It's actually a movie about two guys that kidnap a pharma rep, like a pharma CEO, because they're convinced she's an alien, and like the other aliens could about to come pick her up pretty soon.
That also sounds like an Outkast album from 1990.
I was still the whole time. I'm like, what's Hamnet? And Hamnet was nominated for like every category. I'm like, it's Hamlet performed by pigs.
What?
I should have chosen it for every category.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
But if it had been, I'm pretty sure it would have swept the Oscars.
Yeah, it should have been.
Categories none of us got right. Best International Feature. Nobody figured out Sentimental Value. I actually put down The Secret Agent, which is a Brazilian movie about like a guy that's kind of like in hiding from assassins in 1970s Brazil under sort of military rule. I saw it like a few days ago, and it's actually fucking great. Sadly, did not hit. Nobody got Best Cinematography. I think everybody guessed. One Battle, and it was like a surprise upset going to Sinners instead.
Yeah.
Things we all got right. MBJ is Best Actor.
Totally deserved it.
Best Animated Feature, K-Pop Demon Hunters. Best Original Song, obviously Golden.
Yeah.
Best Visual Effects. And movie that most made me want to fucking kill myself and every boomer that I saw walking out of the theater. Avatar 3, Fire and Ash.
Hold on, a quick note about that category. Right. And I know I go back to these guys all the time, but Corridor Crew did their sort of pre-Oscars show almost entirely, if not entirely, about that particular category, and they kind of break down the effects in all the movies that were nominated. Okay. And they came to the consensus too that, you know, obviously Avatar 3 was the one that should win, right, but gave huge high accolades to the one about the bus, the school bus one.
The school bus one?
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the movie.
What about Train? The Train movie?
No,
The Train Whisperer.
No. There's a school bus in it. Oh shit. At any rate, I'll find it.
I feel like Andy's about to start describing a dream that he had last week.
Maybe I am.
There's a school bus like nominated for Best Visual Effects movie about a school bus.
Because it has to go through like it's I think it's Matthew McConaughey. He's got a bunch of kids on a bus that he has to drive through.
I got a bunch of kids on the bus. All right.
Yeah. He has to drive through like
sit down.
Natural disaster. Hold on. God damn it.
They stay the same age. I get over it.
Yo, pass that rum around, boys.
That's the
Lost Bus. It's fucking called the Lost Bus. I'm not crazy. Yeah. But anyway, they were saying that the effects in that movie, which are, you know, in certain circumstances, they're almost kind of invisible, but like what they do in that movie is so revolutionary and so amazing because you don't know.
They're looking at it from really trained professional eyes. Like this is not something that would necessarily kind of jump out to a layman because it's not about someone's superpowers or aliens, but it is that what they do on a technical level is legitimately kind of amazing.
Like jaw dropping. So anyway,
you have to give viewers something to actually show up for like a bus movie.
Right.
Matthew McConaughey.
Is that what brings you to the movies?
Me personally?
All right.
Yes. All right.
Right.
McConaughey's milkshake.
Yeah. Kind of a magic bus if you think about it.
Yeah.
Which also sounds like a 90s.
Frizzle my misses any day.
You show up to the bus, there's no other kids. Just like, it's just you and me, Matt. He's just like, pass it.
But then Andre and Big Boy show up and they're like, everybody move to the back of the bus. Schoolie D is back there with Meatwad.
I'd get on that bus.
Yeah.
Fair bongos.
Best Picture. Only Eric got this one right. The three of us, Naveen, Andy, myself, picked Sinners. And that was, I think, the odds-on favorite. Eric rolled the dice on One Battle.
Yep.
I was surprised by that
actor, one. Three of the four of us picked Benicio. I throw out kind of Delroy because of just kind of sympathy for like just like I don't know if you kind of read about like that bullshit they had to deal with at the BAFTAs like about like a month ago. But Benicio, the guy, odds-on favorite, Sensei should have won for that movie. The actual pick couldn't be fucked to even show up.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was the best part of that movie, and for me, and it wasn't even close.
No question.
Yeah. And it's funny because you talked about this like a couple weeks back, Andy, and you just mentioned, you're like, Benicio del Toro's role in that film is just the best part about it. Mm-hmm. And as I watched the film last week, and I thought the exact same thing. As soon as he shows up, Bob goes to the dojo, and then he's like, all right, Bob, let's go. And I'm like, oh, shit, this is going to be fun.
Yep.
What's wild about he was on set for like a week and a half. He was busy because he was headlining. God, what was the last Wes Anderson, the Phoenician Scheme. Like he was head of the Phoenician Scheme. He had like 2 weeks off from that to kind of come in and shoot. They barely written the character. He gets on set with PTA. He's like, well, let's figure this guy out there. Like, they make these just one of the best things he could put together his whole career.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have a question though, because there was no kind of definite winner. I thought we could extend the fun like a little bit on Mike. I have a 7-question quiz that Andy and Naveen and Eric are all going to compete in. Andy and Naveen are going to be starting from 0 with their kind of first place tie. Eric is going to be starting at a -2, a little disadvantaged, but not completely off the board. If for some reason we go through these 7 questions, we're going to go very quick. If some reason
these are multiple choice, by the way.
These are going to be multiple choice.
Thank you. Okay. Okay.
We're going to go very quick. I'm not going to read out the answers until we've gotten through the entirety of it. If for some reason we still have a tie at the end, there's going to be a final sudden death question. I will get into that if we find ourselves needing to. These questions, since we just did the 2026 Oscars, we are now going to be doing the 2026 Golden Raspberry or Razzie Awards. I'm going to read off the 3 of you, the nominees for each category, and you're going to pick which one you think won the Razzie. Very importantly, this is not an award for the best within the category. This is an award for the absolute worst.
And you said there's 7 questions?
7 questions. All of you get to answer. There's no issue for timing. You can have the same answer as one of your co-hosts. But like I said, I'm just going to knock these out, and we will tabulate everything once we just got through all the categories. So
should we be writing down what our answers are, or
I have everything set up ready to go here.
Okay.
Everything ready to go here. All right.
Nice.
2026 Razzies. Ready?
Let's do it.
First category: worst remake / ripoff / sequel. I know what you did last summer. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Smurfs, Snow White, War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Everybody can answer. You can answer the same. Take as much time as you need.
War of the Worlds.
Snow White.
Andy says War of the Worlds. Eric says Snow White.
What were the first 2 options?
I know what you did last summer. And Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at
Something's
Freddy's.
telling me I know what you did last summer, but I'm going to go with Five Nights at Freddy's.
I felt that
Okay.
too, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Next Razzie. Worst supporting actor. All 7 artificial dwarves from Snow White. Nicolas Cage from Gunslingers. Stephen Dorff of The Gate fame, a favorite of the 4 of us in this podcast. Stephen Dorff for his supporting actor role in Bride Hard. Greg Kinnear for Off the Grid. And Sylvester Stallone for a film called Alarum. I can read them again if you wish.
Yeah,
Sylvester
please.
Stallone. I'm going Stallone.
You're going Stallone.
You're going Stallone no matter what. You're a sly guy.
Yeah.
What were the first 2?
All 7
7
artificial dwarves from Disney's Snow White, or Rachel Zegler, I believe, starred in that, and Nicolas Cage in Gunslingers.
Oh.
I once saw Greg Kinnear at the Lincoln Memorial in DC.
Was he doing a play or just kind of hanging out?
He was just hanging out.
Oh, good on him.
He was with his family.
Sounds like a patriot.
All right, I'm going to go Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
I don't know why.
I have no idea. I'm gonna go with the 7 Dwarfs just because that was the one that made me laugh.
Got it. Okay. Worst supporting actress. Is it Anna Chumsky? Is it
Klumsky?
Anna Chumsky?
From My Girl fame?
Yeah, okay. We'll look away. Looking back. Anna Chumsky in Bride Hard. Emma Horvath in The Strangers Chapter 2.
I'm going with Emma.
Scarlett Rose Stallone in Gunslingers. Is it Casey Roll in Star Trek Section 31? Or is it Isis Valverde in Alarmo, where I guess she kind of co-starred with Sylvester Stallone.
They made another Star Trek?
Yeah, I'll go with Casey.
You going with Casey?
I'm going with Casey.
Is that the Star Trek one?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with that one too.
What were the first two that you said?
Anna Chlumsky in Bride Hard, and Emma Horvath in The Strangers Chapter 2.
I'm gonna go with Anna Chlumsky.
Okay.
Chumsley.
Worst actress. This is Ariana DeBois in Love Hurts, Mila Jovovich in The Lost Lands, Natalie Portman in a film called Fountain of Youth, Rebel Wilson in Bride Hard, or Michelle Yeoh in Star Trek Section 31.
Wow.
Rebel Wilson.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Rebel Wilson.
I say no. I'm gonna. What was the second one?
The second one was Mila Jovovich in The Lost Lands.
I go with Mila.
You're going with Mila. Okay. Worst actor. Dave Bautista in The Lost Lands, Ice Cube in War of the Worlds, Scott Eastwood in Alarum, where apparently he co-starred with both Isis Valverde and Sylvester Stallone, Jared Leto in Tron Ares, or Abel the Weekend Tesfaye in Hurry Up Tomorrow.
I gotta go Leto.
You're going with Leto.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Leto would win with every one of his movies, though. So I think he's got like a whole 12,000.
None of you guys saw Tron Ares, right?
I watched it.
What a miserable piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Isn't he supposed to be AI?
Yeah.
Actually, the whole world, isn't that all AI?
Yeah.
I exempt myself from this this quiz.
What was the second one? That's the one I think I want to go with.
Ice Cube in War of the Worlds.
Ice Cube.
You're going to say Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Dude, don't do Ice Cube wrong.
Sorry, that guy sucks.
I'm between Ice Cube and Jared Leto because they're the only two that I've seen bits of their performance. Ice Cube.
Ice Cube in War of the Worlds.
Because God, he was awful in that movie.
All right, sixth category, worst director. Is this Rich Lee for War of the Worlds? Olatunde Onsunsami in Star Trek Section 31. The Russo brothers for Electric State. Trey Edward Schultz for Hurry Up Tomorrow, or Mark Webb for Snow White.
Wow. Shit.
Electric State was the one with Chris Pratt, right?
Yes. It was a big
Netflix
Yeah.
flop.
Yeah.
I'm going with the War of the Worlds director.
War of the Worlds.
Oh my God. Oh.
I'm going to go with the Russos.
You're going to go the Russos for Electric State.
Yeah.
Probably not their best. I'll go Snow White again.
Snow White. Okay. Finally, 2026 Razzies Worst Picture. Is it The Electric State, Hurry Up Tomorrow, Disney Snow White, Star Trek Section 31, or War of the Worlds?
Got to be War of the Worlds.
I'm going with Andy.
I'll go with that one too.
Okay. All three of you are just blankly saying War of the Worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
One quick second here.
So, how about them Red Sox?
Sports.
Books.
We'll cut out the dead air.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need this.
We didn't need any of this.
I was gonna say this 10 minutes of dead air. This is what, like, the audience's reaction for the first hour and a half of Tron Ares. Just sitting there, just like, what?
It was a Friday night. I had nothing to do.
What? I feel like that's the lead in before you murder somebody. I'm not sure that's like going to see Tron Ares. That's like self-harm.
Worst remake / ripoff / sequel goes to War of the Worlds. Andy's the only one to get that correct.
Okay.
Worst supporting actor, All Seven Dwarves. Andy also the only one to get that correct.
Oh shit.
No way.
Wow.
Nobody picked worst supporting actress Scarlett Rose Stallone in Gunslingers. Worst actress, both Andy and Naveen got Rebel Wilson for Bride Hard. Worst actor, Andy and Naveen also got Ice Cube correctly for War of the Worlds.
Okay.
Worst director,
Jesus, Andy.
Andy was the only, Naveen was the only one to quickly identify Rich Lee for War of the Worlds.
Okay.
And then all three of you correctly guessed War of the Worlds overall as the worst picture at the 2026 Razzies.
So question.
Yeah.
This is the
Sure.
Razzies.
Uh-huh.
So therefore, don't we want to get the lowest score? Versus the highest score? Just putting it out there. Just want to clarify the rules.
Naveen, cut all of that out. Whole thing.
Hell
I'm
no.
at negative
There's
one
a
right
bunch
now.
of dead air right now. I don't know.
I'm still not even zero.
Final scores. Eric from a -2 to a -1. Naveen, 4 points, put him in second place. And Andy is the winner of our 2026 Oscars/Razzie poll with 5 points and the sole planner and executor of episode 91 of our podcast, Rebels Without a Pod. Buddy, how you feeling?
I'm actually very excited.
He can
I
finally
really
delete
wanted
the
to win
tab.
this one.
You can finally close that tab.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
For
I have
no
a story
points,
that-
but an interesting, like an interesting final thing. All of you have to guess a different number.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes score ranging from 0 to 100. The closest, who can get the closest to the actual current Rotten Tomato score for War of the Worlds?
12.
1.
And
Oh.
Say, okay. Eric said 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naveen said 12.
Yeah.
8.
8. Eric, by a sliver, came within 3 percentage points of the 4% positive score on Rotten Tomatoes for War of the Worlds.
4?
4.
That's
What is
awful.
the lowest ranked movie
There
on
are
Rotten
zeros.
Googling Opportunity Knocks.
Why are you Googling Opportunity Knocks? You obviously know what it is.
The numbers may have changed since we last spoke.
It's one review by this
11%.
random guy, and it's 100%.
11?
11%. 11%.
We have to watch War of the Worlds, guys.
We have no reason whatsoever to watch War of the Worlds.
Yep.
There's your next cycle.
No.
The worst of Rotten Tomatoes.
No, that's okay.
The bottom 4
I-
movies.
If we do the 2025 War of the Worlds, I will do a cuck chair thing where I will sit here on mute quietly the entire time while the preview discuss it.
Can we watch the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds?
That wasn't bad. Spielberg,
Oh, a lot of decent actors in it.
yeah, it's pretty good. Any kind of case. Winding it down right now. Coming up in a few days, our table read of Anglerfish script I've been working on for a really long time. This is our first time putting on little play. I'm a little nervous, a little bit excited. We'll have to kind of see what happens. But Papa, let's kind of throw it to you. Our next movie in the cycle, Big Jim's The Terminator. Anything you want to kind of say
Yes.
ahead of that record?
Everybody knows the movie. I think this is long overdue for me. I'm really excited. I hope it holds up. And also, I've been like Andy. I've been trying to work in all the way up till now either a cycle or movie that has just big action star from our youth. I didn't care who it was, but yeah, why not Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I think that has to be a cycle for us.
Yeah.
And we each have to pick one from the big. Let's see. What is it?
Four.
It's Stallone,
Stallone, Van Damme,
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
Norse? Chuck Norris?
Was he big though? I like big.
Oh, he did.
I
a lot
don't
of,
really kind of know we need to platform
movies.
him anymore in 2026.
That's also a fair point.
People are watching Invasion USA now and be like, yeah, documentary, basically.
Yeah, they're all like, what happened to that armadillo? Fuck this guy.
Well, trying to help out Eric with his Jonathan Brandis.
Brandis cycle, I feel like would just
Could we do Stallone, Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, Brandis as a cycle?
We can do whatever we want.
Just
If you give me Brandis, I'm going to give you Chuck Norris. Just warning you.
I mean, is it Steven Seagal? Is it?
Oh, actually, you know what? Give me Hogan. I want Hulk Hogan.
Hogan is the one. Hogan is the.
That's the one I want.
Yeah. Sexually weird, but his politics weren't completely insane.
He did
but they weren't they?
Yeah, I thought they were.
Yeah, I guess.
Hogan?
I guess I feel like it's fun.
I don't feel like Hogan was personally like sort of commended by Putin at any point. Like Seagal, I'm fairly sure literally has like sort of dual citizenship. Naveen, cut that out. I don't want to get sued. Okay, episode 86. Start of New to You, Neo-Noir, Rebels Without Pod. The Kings of New York, eating biscotti. Can we all do like a walk-in and then sign off? Let's start with Naveen.
Oh, I can't do a walk-in. I'll need a prescription for more cowbell.
And with that, good night, everybody.
Oh, I guess I won.
Going to Eric.
Who would like to join me on the subway for some scoops and a little jumpy jam? Jumpy jam.
Andy, land the shaky plane for us. It looks like he's in pain, folks.
Wow.
Perfect. Donuts. King of New York.
Is that a duck?
And the three of you, kings of podcasting.
Take care.